It is Wednesday, November 19th, 2025. This is podcast number 213. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hidden Oaks Overdose Football Fix podcast. I am one of your hostesses, the Garlic Johnson. We are joined, as almost never, by our other lovely hostess, the Audio Al. Say hi to the folks out there, Audio Al.
What's up, folks?
We appreciate people like Audio Al and others who chat along in our Discord. We appreciate at Levi Oki Illustration. Get your Christmas orders in now. And we appreciate, again, Mr. Audio Al for joining us this evening. How you doing?
I'm Durant. I think that's how he says it, right?
Yeah, that's the proper response. You just got your Durant.
So Walters just decides your schedule now. What's the deal with the Wednesday pod?
Yeah, Walters. We run in the same podcast circles. Walters has been wanting to be a producer for a long time, and part of producing is booking. And we promoted Walters to producer about 2 years ago. We never told him, but yeah, he finally started pulling his weight. He's starting to book us people, and here you are. So,
well, damn. To continue with how I'm doing, I'm going to speak in fantasy terms here. My stardom this week, fire sleeper parlays. I've been killing it with NBA parlays. I got some secrets I can let loose a little later if you want.
I mean, is it time for me to
stardom?
Is it time for me to start copying you again? Because I had been copying your football bets for a while, and every single time I copied you, we lost. But basketball is your game?
No, I won you once.
Oh, maybe. Okay, maybe. I remember dramatic.
You tripled up. You tripled up your dollar.
Well, ladies, I did eventually deposit more money. I'm back to doing $10, but I don't know. It doesn't feel as worth it anymore. Sleeper never does. They never give you the protected pick. The percentages have gone in the little boost. They've gone from like 30% down to like, what are we at right now? 16%. It's going to be 14% next week. They've really dried up over there.
It's been 20 or 30 lately.
I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, the next quote unquote surprise drop that we get almost every day is going to be 16. Mark my words.
I got another stardom this week. We got a new 3D printer at work, and it's got a freaking laser on it. So that's pretty sick.
All you want is freaking sharks with laser beams attached to your head. That's what you got going on at work?
Exactly. I want to print out a shark and put him on the head, so then the laser beam is coming out of the head.
All right. Oh, I love that. So we got how you're doing, and that's great, and that's important. We're happy you're doing well, Al.
No, those are just my stardoms. I got sit-ems and drop-ems.
Perfect. No, but before we do all that, let's just real quickly, because I know Josh and I very often joke that we only have two listeners, you and Walt, but in actuality, Nikita listens every week. I don't know if she'll listen this week because I suppose she listens to support her husband. So, Nikita, if you listen to this one, shout out. How you doing? But there's also that Bradley listens every so often. My buddy Tim Stefchek, I think he got him and his couple of his rugby buddies or some other buddies, I don't know, some sort of association to Tim. They listen every so often, so shout out to them. So there are actually people who maybe don't listen as loyally or as frequently as you and Walt, but they still tune in. So why don't you just give us a very quick who you are, what's your origin story, and why do you care about football so much?
Oh boy, I'm Audio Al. I play football in the fantasy world. I think I met Garlic through Josh, and I met Josh through Ben, and I met Ben through Jordan. I don't know if you know any of those people, whoever's listening. And what was the question?
Well, as for your origin story, I suppose that works. So it goes Josh Mitchell back to Josh Mitchell back to Ben Williams back to Jordan Walmo. That was the train there.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, and then just why do you care about football so much? What's your football origin story? Did you just love it growing up as a kid? Were your parents involved in football? You just turned it on one Sunday? You're like, man, the Vikings are the shit, or what?
So the first season I remember was 97.
Okay.
And the Broncos were the shit. They had John Elway, and I was like, man, the Broncos and the Vikings are awesome. So I just kept watching. So it started
at 97, and here you are.
Yep.
When
I haven't followed the Broncos as much. I basically liked them because of their logo when I was a kid,
I remember it's not as early as 97, but I had like a Madden '03 game or something for the OG Xbox, Madden '01 maybe, I don't know. But for whatever reason, the Broncos were always my team as well. It was just something about their unis got me.
Yeah, I agree.
But sorry, I was trying to ask, do you remember your first fantasy league? When was that, and how'd that go?
Yeah, it was. I was on a soccer team, and we had a fantasy league. And I remember my mom like recruited the assistant coach to walk me through how everything worked. And I drafted Amon Green was one of them.
Okay, shout out.
And we had to call each other for trades. We had to call each other to submit our lineups. It was actually really fun, and I actually won it. I still have the trophy to this day.
Oh hell yeah! Do you still talk to those people back from the old soccer team? Who was on the team?
Absolutely not.
Oh. Okay, but you know, if you ever make it big and famous, like if you're ever one of these like talk show hosts or Pardon My Takes or whatever someday, like you got to shout out the soccer team. That you wouldn't be where you are without them.
You're goddamn right, Gar. I mean, I still like those guys. It's just we don't, you know,
sure.
You drift apart.
Yeah, well, yeah. Life takes people different directions. It's just how it goes sometimes. No bad blood.
Yeah. I just remember I was at my grandma's and I got a phone call, and I was like, I have a phone call at my grandma's?
Oh, no.
And some guy wanted me to trade Kurt Warner, and I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Remind me again, what age was this? How old were you?
That's a good, I think it was.
Or what grade even?
It had to have been elementary school, like 5th grade maybe.
Okay. Damn. Getting phone calls in 5th grade trying to trade Kurt Warner. Wow, dude, you had that Sigma Alpha Omega grind set way sooner than I did. Holy shit.
Damn right.
That's awesome. Okay. Well, sweet. No, we appreciate you. We appreciate you joining us, and I hope the folks appreciate a little bit pull behind the curtain. Because I don't think I've even heard you talk about that kind of stuff on your old podcast that I listen to. So you learn something new every day.
Correct. Yeah.
Let's move on. All right. So normally Josh and I start with the real football, the real deal football, and we do the homer highs and the homer does. You willingly wanted to step in for Josh here, so you want to go ahead and give us the pack high and the pack dough?
Yeah. Just a little bit more of a background. I'm a Packer hater, so there's that.
Oh yeah.
I grew up, or when we moved to my second house with my parents, the room that I moved into was like Packer themed wallpaper, and it was the worst.
Oh, so there's like childhood trauma woven in here as well. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, the Packer high, they won. They beat the Giants. It's a strong feat, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. And then the Packer dough would be the injuries to Josh Jacobs, and I believe Jordan Love left the game midway through. I think he came back.
I'm almost positive he finished the game. I believe I don't know if it was technically a game-winning drive or how that works, but I'm pretty sure he threw the last touchdown of the game to give them the win. So.
Oh yeah, he got his first throwing touchdown as a 27-year-old. That's right.
Ooh, ladies. He might have had multiple. I'm not. Let me try and pull up his stats here.
He did. He had 2. He had 2 touchdowns.
Well, there you go. See, look at that. The mid skid is gone, dude. You were going heavy on the mid skid for a bit there, but.
Well, here's where I'm at with the mid. Okay. I can think of 10 to 12 quarterbacks I'd rather have.
Okay.
Is that not mid?
But you're saying by law of numbers here, that makes him mid, considering there's only 32.
Yeah.
Huh? Can't argue with that. Josh isn't here to defend himself, so I'm just gonna let it fly. Anyways, but we were starting with a Packers high. Let's go ahead and hear your high for the Packers this week.
Can we get much higher?
Well, they won. They beat the Giants.
Pretty big deal.
They came back. They proved to everyone that they're back to Super Bowl caliber.
Okay, and the Packers do.
The injuries to Josh Jacobs and Jordan Love.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's tough. Okay, so we obviously know you're a Packers hater. You've established that. But realistically, what do you think the fate is for the Packers this year? The NFC is a little bit more wide open usually than the AFC. What do you think about the Packers' odds this year? Maybe not Super Bowl contender, but they'll probably make the playoffs, right?
I think they'll get into the playoffs. I don't think they'll win the North. I could see them maybe winning a game in the playoffs.
Sure. Okay, that's fair. So, I mean, yeah, right now the best teams in the NFC are the Eagles and the Rams. Sorry, I'd probably reorder that. The Rams, I'd say, were the best team. Eagles are right up there. As far as record goes, the next best team is the Bears, but I agree with you. I don't think the Bears are going to win the division. I think most likely it'll revert back to the Lions. But there's not a lot of stiff competition in that kind of divisional round. So I could definitely see wildcard Packers go up, win a game, and then lose to a better team round 2. I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah, I'd agree.
We talk about the Packers winning. Unfortunately, the fucking hometown faithful here, the goddamn Vikings. The Vikings could not say the same this week, Al. We dropped an L. Speaking of the Bears are first place in the division, partly thanks to us because we just gave them the dub. For the Vikings the Vikings O-line actually looks pretty solid. Of all the things you could say about JJ's play, you could not say he was under duress 24/7 because the O-line was holding up pretty good. So I would say that would be the Vikings high, and then the Vikings dough. I left it blank because I wanted to ask you about it after I knew we were doing the show together, but also come on, man, that was a rough game. But before you go, I'll just say I know I've been a bit of a JJ McCarthy doomer, and I'll try and I always try and stay a little Fox News fair and balanced. I do think most fans hoped for more this year because there's obviously so much hype surrounding him, but now that we've kind of seen that it's going to take a little bit longer with JJ, that's totally understandable. He's still the youngest. I don't know if he's the youngest player, certainly the youngest starting quarterback in the league. It definitely appears that next year is going to be JJ McCarthy's make or break year, at least for his tenure with the Vikings. But it's certainly not. He could still blossom into an amazing NFL quarterback. So as much as I've been dooming and glooming, this year's not the year. But JJ McCarthy could still be something. What do you think about that game, Al? And what do you think about the Vikings overall?
Well, I thought we had no business being in that game for one.
Sure. That's right. You have bear derangement syndrome. You can't give the Bears any credit. You're anti-bear.
Yeah, I'm a bull for sure. But anyway, what do I think about the Vikings? What do I think about the Vikings game? Jordan Addison did JJ no favors.
Okay.
There's that. Sure. JJ has a lot to work on. I'm no quarterback expert, but it seems like he tries to just bullet it into all the close range passes, and then he tries to do the little touch on his deep ball. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Well, what I've heard is, the mid-range shots, again, believe who you want to believe, but it seems like he's not putting enough arc or enough touch on some of those mid-range balls because he's not, he's bulleting them a little bit too hard, and he's not getting the guys a chance to run underneath them. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not an expert. That's just what I hear people on the radio and people on TV say. But whatever, there's clearly, I know much less about quarterbacking than you do. There's clearly something going on. As someone who knows slightly more about football than I do, what do you attribute to him sealing all those passes on? Do you think that that's him bulleting it too hard, or why is he overthrowing so many people?
I think, I think so. When you get excited when you're throwing it, it's harder to aim. / if you were the opposite and under duress, I should say.
Gotcha. And for the people that don't know, Al sure knows what he's talking about, because I believe you definitely, when we do the Turkey Bowl, you play quarterback, right? I believe you're usually QB.
Yeah.
And I used to watch you guys play flag football. Usually JWoww was the quarterback, but were you the second string in case JWoww needed a reprieve?
I don't think I was ever officially on that team.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I don't remember. This was so long ago.
But I did play flag football this last summer. and I was the quarterback.
Ooh, okay.
Made some decent throws. Some ref called me Aaron Rodgers. That was both
Wow.
a slight and a compliment at the same time.
The context is very important for that accolade for sure, but it feels nice.
But yeah, like if I see a guy wide open, sometimes I'll get too excited and it's just you just let her fly and it's just like shit.
With your vast quarterback experience, do you think you could fix JJ McCarthy?
No, absolutely not.
You need someone with a slightly higher experience level.
Yeah, I don't know all the drills, the feet work, whatever.
Gotcha. All right. Any other thoughts on the Vikes? Obviously, this is not. Well, you talked about the game. What about the Vikes season? Clearly, we're not Super Bowl contenders this year. Do you think the Vikes could still right the ship this year, and sneak into maybe the last wild card spot, or what do you think the rest of the year is going to look like for the hometown team?
I do think it's possible to maybe get around, maybe like a game above 500. I don't have high expectations this year. It's more of like a growing year.
Okay.
I would agree with you next year.
Yeah, so you agree that with the sentiment that next year is kind of JJ's make or break?
Yeah, and when you look at the other quarterbacks of that class, like Jaden Daniels popped off year one.
Yep.
But I think he's the outlier to the rest of them, right?
Who else was in that class? Yeah, it was what?
Drake May,
Bo Nix,
Caleb
Michael
Williams.
Penix. Honestly, for the longest time, I thought we were going to get Penix. I don't know if our team would be any better had we gotten Penix or not, but at Atlanta picking him at 8, I still remember being crazy. But unfortunately, JJ does appear to be the worst of the class so far. Again, we know he's missed a lot of time with injury, but do you think the Vikings organization, so assuming the JJ McCarthy experiment fails, it seems like otherwise KOC definitely has the buy-in from the owners, but do you think if this experiment fails, they just clear house, new GM, new head coach, new everything? Or do you think they'll give KOC another crack? I think Kwesi has a much harder time staying. He might get fired and someone else brought in, but do you think KOC could stay?
I do think we would give KOC another year, but did you see that Ravens prophecy? Because every time we play the Ravens, we either beat them and go to the championship.
That's right.
Or we lose them and we lose our head coach.
Yeah, we did lose the Ravens this year, so you're right. If the Ravens prophecy were to be unbroken, KOC would have to get fired this year. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that for a second, unfortunately.
I don't either. Yeah.
All right, moving on. We'll talk about some other things from around the league. One of the notes I put in here was the Jamar Chase Spitgate. Jalen Ramsey got kicked out of the game for... depending on how you want to break down the video, it looks like he just did kind of grab the face mask of Jamar Chase. He got. I was gonna say executed, but that's obviously not fucking right. he got kicked out of the game for. Oh my God, punching. That's what they said he did, but it looked like more of a face mask later. But it was because Jamar Chase spit on him. What do you think about that whole scenario?
I didn't see the video, but according to Jamar Chase, if you wanted to spit on him, you would. He's really good at spitting.
Yeah, what do you say? I would have spit on his face and not his chest or something. So I don't know. A wild thing to say. But he's been suspended for a game, and he's appealing the suspension. I don't know how fast the appeals process works. If he'll be able to play this week, and then if they uphold it, he'll get suspended a different week. I don't know. But that was the punishment. Jamar Chase is trying to fight it. To me, the video looked pretty clear like he spit on him, but that could be AI or something. You can't really believe anything you see on the internet these days, but I think it's kind of gross. You're going to spit on someone and then not at least own up to it. I guess you could, just be like, yeah, man, I had a lapse of judgment. Suspend me a game. I get it. But you put some notes in here.
Apparently. Oh, Walters is here.
Yeah, Walters showed up. He was late. He's tardy, but Walters is here. But you got a couple notes in here for other things happening around the league. What did you want to talk about, Al?
Yeah, breaking news to you. Apparently, his appeal did not go through. And do you know who denied his appeal?
I do not.
Jordy Nelson is apparently the head of the appeals.
Really? Okay. Yeah, this is breaking news to me. So did Jordan Nelson put out a statement, or did he just deny it, or how's that? This is all news to me.
It was just like a tweet that said his Jordan or like head of the committee, Jordy Nelson, denies the appeal, so he's suspended.
Oh, well, there you go. Get fucked, Jamar Chase, I guess. All right. Well, that's interesting. But Joe Burrow is back. You put that in the notes. I guess I haven't been paying. I don't have any Joe Burrow shares, so I'm not really that invested. But is he's coming back this week?
He fully practiced today, so I was kind of wondering your trust level on if you were to have him, would you play him?
I mean, so obviously, if you've had Joe Burrow this long, you've been starting someone else. I mean, there's no. I would if it was a redraft league and I still had the second quarterback rostered, which I should have up to this point, I would not drop that quarterback because we have seen a couple times, at least one time this year, and it's not that uncommon where someone practices well, but they still give him one more week. So I definitely, if you have Joe Burrow, you're going to find out probably by Friday whether he's, out or going to play. So I certainly would not drop your other quarterback yet. That'd be my opinion.
All right. Yeah, I wouldn't drop him, but
but if he's gonna play, I'd play him. I guess no. Or who's their opponent this week? That's another important factor.
They're playing the Patriots, I believe.
Ooh, Patriots are playing pretty well. Honestly, I wouldn't play him this week. That's just my opinion, but I understand they think they can still save their season. They can't. Yeah. But no, Drake May is, as we've discussed on the podcast a couple weeks ago with Josh, I believe, Drake May is second in MVP odds right now in Vegas. So Patriots are killing it.
He is killing it. Yeah, I agree. Another note that I had was, will Aaron Rodgers still own the Bears? He plays them this week.
It's a good question. I mean, they're only 6-4. I think they feel like they're going, They're doing their damnedest to hit that Mike Tomlin, 9-8 record to end the season. Do I think he'll own the Bears? No. Aaron Rodgers has clearly slowed down. He's clearly lost a step. I don't think he's going to own anyone, but I do think is it in Chicago or is it in Pittsburgh?
Let me double check.
Because if it was in Chicago, I could see him having a little bit of extra oomph. But if it's in Pittsburgh, then I would almost say the Bears are going to win.
Almost there. Yeah, it's at Chicago.
Ooh, okay. I think it's going to come down to a field goal, but I don't think it'll be an owning by any means.
Bears are -3.5.
There you go. See? I know shit. What do you think?
I think he's going to own the Bears. I still don't believe in the Bears. They've been kind of getting away with
that's right.
The past couple weeks.
So quickly I forgot your BDS. My bad.
What is BDS? Bear Down syndrome?
No, bear derangement syndrome.
Oh.
Just think everything
Bear
the Bears
do
is bad, You just hate the Bears.
Would Bear Down syndrome would be good, wouldn't
it? I am going to plead the fifth on that question. Looks like you got one more note here. What do we got?
What would you do if you're the Cardinals? So they got Kyler Murray, who they put on IR, and it's speculative that it's like a soft benching. They're going with Jacoby Brissett. They're not doing too hot. What would you do if you're the Cardinals?
If I were the Cardinals, I mean, they're 3-7. I do think the Kyler Murray era is going to be over in Arizona. I think with that, I think John Gann, I don't know. Obviously, I know absolutely nothing about the Cardinals owners, but I have to assume since John Gannon just got brought in, I think last year, I have to assume they're going to give him a chance with a new quarterback. So I think they're going to do their best to draft whoever's available. I don't really know anything about the next year's quarterback class other than there's a guy named Mendoza, I think. But I think he's one of the top guys, and I don't think the Cardinals are going to be a top 3 pick, maybe top 8 or something. Because Jacoby will inevitably win them a game or two they don't want to win. But no, I think Kyler's done. I think they draft a QB because I think that team overall, they still have Marvin Harrison. Their defense isn't terrible. I think they just need a decent to solid quarterback to compete. So I think the team will mostly run it back, but I do think Kyler is gone.
Yeah, I was just wondering because the draft class for the quarterbacks is not great.
Okay, well, so sometimes beggars can't be choosers. They'll have to take who they can, or maybe they do what the Vikings did, and they'll do a journeyman for a year and then try and reassess in 2027. Who knows?
Yeah. And then, like, what about the Saints? So we got, well, no, first of all, go back to the Cardinals.
Yep.
Kyler Murray to the Vikes? Kyler Murray to the Rams?
I mean, okay, so I could see, if the Rams.
I've always envisioned him in a Vikings uniform, and I don't know why.
You've been, to be fair, you've been a Kyler Murray guy. I think that's fair to assess. You enjoy Kyler Murray. I don't
True.
think the Vikes have no reason to bring him in next year, obviously. I don't think, unless it's like
Not
on
yet.
the most cheap deal, I don't think they would.
They brought in Daniel Jones.
Oh, I mean, that was after he cleared waivers. It could definitely not be a trade for Kyler. I guess I'll put it that way. Kyler would have to be cut, and then we could pick him up on a min deal or however that works. Maybe he'd come into camp to rattle JJ's cage or something. But I guess my point is we certainly would not trade for Murray. But back to the Rams portion. So the Rams are looking really good right now. I could see if they have their storybook ending, if the Rams go on to win a Super Bowl this year, Stafford retires. I definitely could see McVay make an aggressive move for a more veteran quarterback that's available. Could it be Kyler? Sure. Otherwise, I don't know where Kyler goes next year. Because, I mean, the Titans have the worst record, but they just got Cam Ward. I don't think they're going to pull a Josh Rosen and get another one. The Giants are doing really bad. The Jets are doing really bad. The Jets could do it. The Giants won't because they have Jackson. And I don't think the Saints are going to bring him. I mean, honestly, you put the Cardinals and the Saints here next to each other. Maybe if Kellen Moore thinks anything of Murray, maybe he goes to the Saints instead of the Saints drafting someone if the quarterback class is that weak. Otherwise, I have no idea, man.
Yeah, it's just interesting. I think even if like Matthew Stafford wins the MVP, he'd be done.
Think so? Even if they don't win, if he just has one last year?
I mean, he's old.
He's undeniably a veteran of this league who has many years under his belt. I don't think he'll go to Vegas. I think Pete Carroll will stick with Geno for at least another year. If I had to put money on it, Walter's asked in the chat.
It's the Russell Wilson.
Maybe it could be.
But yeah, I just threw in the Saints in there too because Tyler Shuck, he's second round draft capital, and he looked kind of good last week.
I would have to assume they're going to draft another quarterback next year in New Orleans, but who knows? Maybe Kirk becomes available.
Do they get the second overall pick and trade it for a haul? Like, I would do that, to be honest.
I mean, that's a good question. That's a really good question. We'll see. We'll wait and see.
All right.
Cleveland? No, I don't think. Ugh. Don't make me think about Cleveland right now, Walters. We're gonna move on. You got another prompt here in the note sheet. Al, go ahead and let me know what you're thinking here.
Yeah, so Dave's been rattling my cage lately because he just keeps trying to tank in literally everything.
Sure.
And I guess my question is when would you decide to tank in Dynasty? Like he had a top, or he still has a top, or a top team, I would say. He's not quite there in the standings, but he's got a chip chair and a chance.
I mean, obviously,
and now he's selling off.
Obviously, the worst place to be in Dynasty is the middle of the pack because you're never going to draft high enough to get a game-changing player. And I truly believe the game-changing players only come realistically in picks 1 through 3. Sometimes you could do picks 1 through 6. Of course, good players come later in the rookie draft, but it's such a lottery at that point. You really need a top draft pick to build up a dynasty team. So you have to be middle of the pack. You have to own your first rounder. And then it also depends on the rules for how draft order is determined. So I guess abused. Shouldn't say abused. It was just the rules we all agreed to when we set out. But in my Hidden Oaks Dynasty League, there is no max points for whatever. So I was just allowed to start a bunch of stinkers every week and have a couple studs stashed on my bench. And I tanked for 3 years, but eventually I put together a pretty competent squad. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, yeah, you have to be middle of the pack, and there has to be. It also depends. Is there anyone else tanking in your league? Does it look like someone's about to win the league? There's a bunch of considerations, but yeah, my answer would be if you're finishing anywhere between 4th and 8th after two or 3 years in a row, you have to obviously change something. So. I'm more of a believer in the tank. Obviously, you've seen me. I tanked the very first year of the second iteration of your Deflate These Balls. I just put Mahomes on the bench and let it ride. And it worked out swimmingly because I got Najee Harris, and that worked out so well. But I'm much more of a tank believer than you are. You said Dave's been rattling your cage because he's been blowing up his dynasty teams. How do you feel about tanking? Or do you believe you should tank at all? Or do you believe you should try every year? Or what are your thoughts on the matter?
Honestly, my perfect spot would be this. If 6 teams make the playoffs, I want to be on the last week, a win and in, or a loss and out with the least max points. That's what would make you decide to tank. No. That's where I would want to be.
Can you explain to me why that's where you want to be?
You're going into the last week. You win, you're in the playoffs. There's a chance for money. You lose, you're not in the playoffs, but you have least max points for, so you're still going to get the first pick.
Oh, I see. Okay. It took me a second to understand what you're saying. Certainly that would be a sweet spot. I don't think that's going to be many people's reality.
But to Walter's point, he's had the number 1 overall pick the last 2 years, and he still sucks.
But that is more a system of how Walters plays fantasy. No offense to Walters.
But also, I know for a fact he's gotten a haul offer to him for both those picks. So he could have a good team had he have traded those picks during rookie fever.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly, I know I oversimplified. Certainly you have to hit on the right players, and not one good player. Like, I guess to me, for tanking, I believe you have to do a multi-year tank. Like, you need multiple top draft picks to be able to get some solid stud starters on your team. One year of tanking, unless you tried what I did, which is draft, some studs and some stinkers, and then tank for 1 year and get one more first-round pick and then go. Otherwise, I believe you have to tank for multiple years. That's what I personally believe. But then you still have to execute with those draft picks. I get it.
I mean, you could have the best team in fantasy and still lose every year.
That's true. That's absolutely true. But so I guess back to the origin point of tanking. Do you believe would you ever tank? I don't think tanking is in your blood necessarily. But is there any situation where you would start tanking, or do you just trying to roster the best team every year?
I mean, I'm tanking to an extent in my Superflex league. So I have a screenshot for you, right?
Yep, I see it.
This guy updated his nicknames in this league.
Yep.
So Bonix, he says he's worth 2 firsts.
Yep.
Brian Thomas, he says he's worth a first plus. RJ Harvey, first plus. Shador Sanders, a second. Josh Allen, 3 firsts. Daniel Jones, first plus plus, whatever that means. And then Justin Jefferson, two firsts plus.
Right.
But he didn't look at the lay of the land, because all the teams that are competing, they don't even have these picks.
Sure.
And then all the teams that are tanking, they don't want these guys.
You're right. No, yeah. Like, and that, as to my comment earlier, you have to know the surroundings in your league. You have to know what's happening. But also, and I think these prices are a little absurd. I think
they are.
The thing that makes the most sense to me in a Superflex league is Josh Allen for 3 firsts. I can see that being a legitimate asking price. That makes sense to me, considering Josh Allen. He doesn't really get banged up. He is perennial. Jesus Christ! Every year he's a top 5 QB. That one makes the most sense to me. 2 firsts plus for Justin Jefferson in a Superflex league? Probably not. Brian Thomas definitely not worth the first. RJ Harvey's definitely not worth the first. Shador Sanders is not worth a second in a Superflex league. This Pat, is this the Pat I know, or is this a different Pat?
It's just a random guy in our league. Yeah.
Okay. This guy's crazy as well.
No, it's because Dave traded me Brian Thomas for a first in 27. I thought that was kind of fair. It was fair in Dynasty Daddy. So then I offered it to this guy, and then he comes back with these.
Sure. Well, I mean, was the plus like? Did he just want like a little kicker, like a third rounder? Or like, did he want what did he want as his extra?
His counter to me was my first this year and my first next year, and my first this year is the number 1 overall pick in a Superflex league. It's like, why would I do that?
That guy's stupid, or he's just trying to really abuse people with the trades. I don't know, but
yeah.
But yeah. So last, I don't know if you're kind of tanking in the Superflex league, but you still even seem a little uncertain about it. So it would take a lot to make you tank.
I haven't fully traded out. Like I have Saquon, I could trade him.
Yep.
I have DK Metcalf. He'd probably be a prime candidate to trade if I'm tanking. Well, I'm kind of tanking. My team's not good enough. I have JJ McCarthy and I have Jaden Daniels and I have Tyler Shuck.
So, but it sounds like since you're not moving some of your more studly pieces, you think with the 101 next year, assuming you keep it, you're going to come back and compete next year. That's your plan.
Yeah, and well, you also don't know that I have the 103.
Oh, you have the 101 and the 103?
If the season were to end today, yeah.
Damn, that's pretty good. So yeah, I can see, it makes sense for you to go back and throw it all out there next year.
Would you trade Shuck for a second next year?
I would have a hard time believing that Kellen Moore doesn't go get a different starter, so I would not.
You would not? Wait, you wouldn't trade a second for him, or you wouldn't trade Shuck?
I wouldn't trade for him. I would trade him away for a second, for sure.
All right.
Okay. So that's all about Dynasty and tanking. Also, shout out Kyle. Kyle has joined us. I'm not sure when, if ever, Kyle has listened live, but shout out to him. He's doing, I believe, I don't want to speak out of my ass. I believe he's still doing well in the free Guillotine League that I shut out there real quick just to test it on Sleeper. But shout out to Kyle for playing. Moving on, I'm going to go ahead and give my grain of salt in the weekly recap. This week I had a rough 3 and 4. So I continue just like last week for whatever reason. Now that I've gone a terrible losing streak in my 2 most expensive leagues, now right when I almost am eliminated from the playoffs, I'm going to go ahead and make a late season push. So I got 2 wins in my 2 most expensive leagues, and then I won and deflate these balls. Shout out. But then I had 2 heartbreaking losses. I was the second highest score in Ohm's Law Aaron's League. I beat 8 other people and just lost to the 1 high score. And then in the Hidden Oaks Dynasty, I also beat every other team except for the team who played me and beat me. So 2 8-1 performances against my whole league and still take L's. That's tough. So 3 and 4. I am 40, 36, and 1 on the season overall. Using the intellectual property of Joshua Allen Bunker Incorporated, I would have gone 42 and 18 this week. Would have been by far my best fantasy week, or is by far my best fantasy week of the year. I had a 9 and 2, a 9 and 0, an 8 and 1, a 2 and 9, which was unfortunate, but then a 6 and 5 and an 8 and 1. So did really well this week. For the whole season, I would be 421, 389, and 1. So that's a batting average of 219 or excuse me, 519 or 520, depending on how you want to round it. But doing fairly well, starting to come back, but I'm afraid it's too little too late in some of my leagues. But hopefully I can make some noise in my Dynasty leagues. How are you doing this year in fantasy, Al? Normally you run the gauntlet in my Guillotine leagues. It did not happen for you this year, unfortunately. But otherwise, how are you doing? How are you performing in your fantasy leagues? Any championship contenders out there for you?
Well, first of all, your Guillotine league. If anyone out there listening wants some consulting, I'm available for a price.
As like a ghost, so you have like different ghostly hours since you've already died in that league, or?
Yeah, as a ghost. There you go.
Perfect.
If that's how you want to word it, sure. So in the land where I'm currently the defending champ, I'm the 5th seed.
Okay.
Not doing too bad. Getting a little unlucky. I'm in a boomer league, which that one I'm getting super unlucky. I think I have a top team and I'm out of the playoffs at the moment.
Oof, I have that situation with my leagues. It is tough.
Yeah. I started in 3 guillotine leagues, I think.
Okay.
Was it 3? Yeah, 3. And I've lost in all of them. I got colluded in one, colluded against in one.
I remember that. That was a rough night for you.
But I wouldn't count those in. I don't count guillotine leagues really as a part of my fantasy. I don't know.
Sure.
And then I'm in 2 dynasty leagues. One that I'm tanking in for the most part. One is deflate these balls. I think I have a pretty good team, but now Dave's tanking, so I could change the landscape there. And then Victoria's Secret, I had a very rough stretch, but we're back. We won 2 games last week. We're making a push.
Okay.
Might be in second to last now, but we're getting there.
Okay. So who do you think is your best chance to win a championship this year? Is it the Land? You said you're in the 5th seed right there. And I didn't hear. Sounds like you're either doing unlucky or not so hot in your other leagues. Who do you think is your best shot for a championship? Which league do you think this year?
Probably the Land, yeah. Or my Boomer League.
Then, do you think? So again, this is a genuine question, not trying to shit on you. Do you feel like is that normal for you, or do you feel like you're having a down fantasy year? Because obviously, normally I would consider you as someone who only play. We talk fantasy all the time, but we only play in like 1 or 2 leagues together each year. Do you feel like you're having a down year, or do you feel like normally your results are pretty mixed like that?
Yeah, I think I'm having a down year.
And what do you think you just got unlucky with drafting? Was there some unlucky injuries, or what do you think? It's just not your year?
I mean, one league I drafted Burrow pretty early and Brian Thomas. I have a lot of Brian Thomas shares, to be honest.
Oof, okay, there you go.
Yeah, and then Jaden Daniels being out every other game is like...
That's tough. You were huge on Jaden Daniels coming into this year for sure.
Yeah. Bigger last year, but yeah. I love him.
So are you someone who normally doesn't diversify your teams then? So do you feel like, because you play in so many leagues, do you feel like you end up grabbing a lot of the same players in each league, or?
If the opportunity is there, I kind of go all in, yeah, but it depends on draft spot or, whatever.
Sure. All right. Well, good luck to you in the Land. I hope that works out for you. Definitely not good luck to you in Deflate These Balls, because I am currently... am I still in second place? I just won this week. What place am I?
I think you are, yeah.
No, I dropped to third because
third.
Tyler won, but I have the most points for out of anybody. But currently third place, so definitely not, definitely not good luck to you and Deflate These Balls, because I want to win. But I mean, I guess I'm not looking at your draft capital or looking at your team. Are you going to make a move? You said Dave's tanking. That could change the landscape. I believe Bijan and T. Higgins and pretty much anyone on his team is available right now. Are you going to try and make a move for one of his top studs?
I don't have enough to offer him for Bijan.
Okay.
I haven't thought about T. Higgins. I don't know if I like him or not.
Sure. I mean, certainly Bijan would be the prize here. We're not taking this overly seriously.
He's a guy that you want to build around. I don't know why he would get rid of him.
Sure. Yeah, no, I mean, trust me, I have no illusions that I could ever get in the mindset of Dave, but yeah, Bijan is definitely the prize. And then it looks like Tyreek, I mean, depending on if you think Tyreek Hill ever plays again or is any good again, that could be second. Otherwise, I do think T. Higgins is his second best player. He's got Herbert, but it's a 1 QB league, so he's kind of got a ceiling there. He's got Lad McConkey. That's a solid piece. He's kind of having a down year compared to his rookie year, but Jalen Waddle's in there as well. So he has a couple decent receivers. Maybe not necessarily the wide receiver 1 stud you would want, but definitely, you could comfortably start those 3 guys if you had to every week.
I mean, if he somehow got the number 1 overall pick and took Jeremiah Love and had Bijan, that's a solid core right there.
There you go. Well, we'll see what happens in Deflate These Balls. Maybe Dave sells it all. Maybe Dave doesn't get the price he wants. Otherwise, let me go back to the note sheet here. Anything else you want to talk about, whether it was football related or fantasy related? I know we went, not that you and I really cared about how long we went, but we've been going about 45 minutes here. But if there's anything else you'd like to chat about, I'd happily continue to chat. But if we're done, we can go ahead and just close up shop.
I'm pretty good. I on the way home, I did get a call from Dave, and he said he's got free tickets to the Wolves game. And I was like,
Oh, I mean,
So
you could have
skipped that
ditched me for
this.
the Wolves game. I don't care.
oh, I definitely knew. That was. It did not hold me back. I was just like, yeah, it's the Wizards. Got to pay for parking. I'm good.
Gotcha. Okay, so I was not the deciding factor. Okay, you were gonna make me feel bad for a second. You're a Wolves diehard. But okay.
Yeah, go Wolves.
I would love to give a shout out to Walters, who was our booker for this episode. He got Al and I connected, so we could still have a podcast this week. So shout out to Booker Walters. Shout out to Al, obviously, for joining us. Appreciate you jumping into the hot seat as Josh was celebrating his lovely anniversary with Nikita last evening, I believe. Oh my God, I was in their wedding. You think I would know? I believe they got married in 2017. Oh God, I smacked my mic as well. I believe they got married in 2017, so this would be their 8-year anniversary. So shout out to the lovely couple. Hopefully you had a lovely Tuesday evening. But otherwise, thank you everyone for listening, and we'll see you again next week. Next week's Thanksgiving. You guys doing is the Turkey Bowl going to be live from CH?
Oh no, I might have lost you.
Oh no, you can't hear me?
Oh, now I can.
Okay.
We're not playing at the high school, I don't think. I think we're going to play at Anoka this year.
Ooh, Anoka High School for the Turkey Bowl?
We're trying to ditch the high schoolers that show up.
That's honestly kind of funny. But okay, shout out. I mean, I haven't looked at what the weather's supposed to be this week, but there's no snow on the ground. The weather's actually been pretty nice this year, so should be, unless it really takes a turn for the worse next week, should be pretty good conditions. So if you're bored and you're looking to play Turkey Bowl next Thursday, Anoka High School. Again, yeah, just thank you everyone for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
And in honor of Josh, go Packers.
Wow. What a guy, Al. And that's a pod, just like that.
Hey.
We did it. What did Walters? I missed something. Walter said something at the end, but I was done. Would love to have all 4 of us on for one pod this year. Oh my God, that sounds like chaos. That sounds like a lot of work. I
had a tough time not colliding with you talking.
Yeah, yeah. It is what it is. Maybe
My
if we had a game,
is too high.
It could be that as well. Walters, if you wanted to make a game that all 4 of us could play, then maybe I'd consider the 4-person pod. Otherwise, as of right now, that sounds terrible to me. No offense to you.
We're all awaiting his typing.
It's very good thing the show's over. No. And he said no. Okay, so Walters wants a 4-person pod, but he's not even willing to put in the bare minimum effort of trying to make a game we could all play. Well, he doesn't want it that bad, does he? All right. I'm going to get this chopped up and uploaded and scheduled to go live tomorrow morning. Thank you again, Al. And I don't know when we'll play Sticks again, because I think we've lost Dave to COD for a bit, so who knows? But
we did.
I'm sure it won't be too long. Are you going to go to JWowws on Sunday?
Thinking about it, yeah.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be there. So, and you're doing Darian's on Saturday, so I'll see you there as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to have so much Al this week. Goddamn, I'm not going to know what to do with myself.
Oh shit, are we besties again?
Oh, bestie. I have not played the new COD, Walt. I have no idea. All right. I'm going to go before you two beautiful people distract me any longer. Love you. Bye.
Yeah. Later.